Property surfing at the Scott project. There's one of the front doors from our houses, one of the tenants' mattresses, their old unregistered car, fridge, furniture, television, some plants. Joy of what tenants leave behind. One of the reasons that I invest in property is it's been very good to me. You know, I started with nothing, with my first house when I was 17, and it's provided me with a really good life, surfing, enjoying time with family, travelling, etc. Lots of people don't invest in property because of the downsides. What happens when a tenant trashes your house? What times those happen? Now, it's probably only happened to me, really, probably 3 times in terms of really serious, but maybe 6 times in terms of the various things. Today, sadly, I'm at one of those times, and I'm going to walk you through a house that yesterday we used the police to evict the tenant. So 2 months in arrears, absolutely not the fault of the property manager. You just get bad tenants. Now, this is a house that is older, so unfortunately it probably does attract a lower socio-economic type tenant. And you know, there were issues before. We'd understood that the police had been around here and conducted a drug bust, and look, that happens plenty of times, and most times tenants exit and it's okay. But today I'm going to show you the downside. You can see over my shoulder here there's a hole in the wall. So the property managers did an inspection less than a week ago. So the tenant was evicted yesterday, less than a week ago, and a bunch of these holes weren't here. But what happened was they knew the police were coming and they went around and trashed the house. What's even sadder than that really is that as you walk around and I show you the condition of this house, it's not just the damage that's caused to this property, which is one of my own, but it's the lives behind it. You know, you'll see that there's really an entire house here. Unfortunately, you'll see the way that some people live, and you'll also see that there's a whole bunch of furniture that they decided not to remove before the police forcibly evicted them. It's a sad circumstance. Now, in saying all of that, this property has increased pretty substantially since we bought it, and frankly, after we repair the damage, we'll probably go on and tidy up a few more things. The property will sadly rent for more, and long term will be a fantastic investment. So, you know, I guess today I have to put into perspective for all of you guys who are worried about what happens if, that owning property in the long term is still an outstanding outcome, and you're going to get tough days. Now, insurance will cover a lot of what's happened here, and we'll be fine. And the renovations that we do on from here will probably add value. So perspective. Anyway, let's go for a bit of a walk. As you can see, there's junk all over the floor. There was a dog living inside in the last week. We understand it. And if I had a smellometer here, you would understand that it's maybe worse than it looks. But as you'll see here, there's bits and pieces of furniture still left. You know, on the outside there's a television and a fridge and a car sitting on the lawn. You can see that there's couches. They haven't taken the alcohol, that's a bit sad. You can see that the air conditioner's been damaged again. That was fine a week ago, just out of spite. In here we've got, again, more couches. Nice colour, huh? Doors ripped off. You'll see when we go outside that there's also smashed up doors outside, but look, literally clothes drying on the line left behind. If we skip over here, you can see another hole in the wall there. It's a pretty dark room, but basically junk left behind. If I scroll around, excuse the panning while I walk. Kitchen off to the right, we'll go there in a second, but furniture left behind. iPod, kids' DVDs. The kettle, the toaster. Sink's always a great indication of how someone lives, so broken taps that were fine when they came in on entry. You can see there's been no dishwashing done here for a while. Crap's just left. And we go into the bathroom down there that I'll save you from. Anyway, you get my point. Tenants trash houses, but that's no reason for us not to invest in them. And property is a great investment. This will be tidied up And maybe not the next video, that'll probably be a bit of reno here, but in future videos you'll see that this house will be turned back into what it was, a great rental property, and you know, in 10 years time it'll double in value, and in the scheme of $5,000 worth of repair to fix this, does it really matter? Your question to answer. If you're up for it, there's wins. Keep property surfing.